Any glaring omissions from the budget that you wanted to bring up?
Well, yeah, I mean, there were certainly a number of things, Peter, that we were looking for in the budget that we didn't see. Probably at the top of the list was much in the way of further R&D incentives, and Canada's long prided itself as being a leader in providing incentives to organizations to conduct research and development activities, and it's true that the budget did have a few fairly targeted measures relating to academic research, but nothing for the private sector. Okay. And ultimately, research and development is something that is globally mobile. And we've been finding that many countries around the world are focusing more on their research and development tax systems themselves. And Canada, which used to have sort of a global leadership on this front, really no longer does. And many other jurisdictions have expanded the range of activities that might be eligible for research and development type credits. Right. They've increased the rate that those incentives can provide. And in fact, in many jurisdictions, they allow quite widespread refundability of the incentives that come from research and development. And of course, in Canada, that's allowed in a very narrow number of situations. I guess the only other thing that I might say from what's missing in the budget that maybe we would have liked to see is I think there's been a lot of focus on business tax, rate reductions, and I think the changes to non-resident investment in Canadian private companies. For the most part, the culmination of all of these effects is that we have a generally globally competitive business tax regime. But we've really made almost no changes to the personal tax regime. We still have very high top marginal rates. A resident of Ontario would pay a 47% personal tax rate. And those personal tax rates, those top personal tax rates, cut in at relatively low income levels. We also don't have joint filing. So you end up in situations where a family earning relatively modest income ends up paying tax at almost that top marginal rate. And that top marginal rate is well in excess of the U.S. and many other countries in which entrepreneurial, globally mobile, high-income individuals could choose to live. And I think now that Flaherty has paid attention to the business tax regime, I think our next priority is the personal tax regime. And if I had the chance to dream about it, I would have said it would have been useful, even if there were no major changes to personal tax this year, if there was a little bit more direction on that going forward and some stakes in the ground about what we might expect in future budgets.